Well, hello everyone, and welcome to another episode with your girl Audrey Codner from GED Math Tutoring. So what we are doing here is we're going to continue on working some of our math skills to help you out with the GED, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the HESI test, basically any standardized test from A to Z, as well as those that are going into pre-algebra and Algebra 1. We're working on those skills as well. So as we do, we just basically take a look at some of these release questions that we get off of the lovely internet, and we just break down concepts. Once if you feel that you got the answer, all you do is just put that answer right into the comments, and then I break it down for you step by step. So as we take a look at our first one, we're seeing which equation has a slope of -2/7 and contains 0.5 -6. So is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? So if you think you know the answer, go ahead and put it in the chat. It's perfectly fine. If you're not sure what the answer is and you're just like, I don't know, you could put a question mark into the chat as well. So hello everyone and good morning. All right, Justin Z, I see you with your A's in there. It's been a minute. Hopefully you're doing well. Okay, we have Joel also in the chat. We have the label that's going in there. Created by Adam is also saying A, and with the ingredients of it. All right, we have Anna that's coming on through. We have Broody that's in there. All right, welcome on in. Rich, thank you for stopping on in as well. So if you have the answer to it, we got two people that are telling me A. So if anyone else is like, I don't know what it is, go ahead and put it in. Because that's how we learn. We learn from mistakes, guys. We are not perfect, okay? We are no way, shape, or form perfect. Just try your best. All right, Amanda's saying A. Becky is saying C. Thank you so much for putting it in here. Alex is doing a follow. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to follow and share, you can do that as well. Top Draft is also saying C. Thank you, Jen, for the follow. We got another Jen 13. Okay. Then we have I think it is a butterfly saying C. Big Daddy saying C. Oh, we got the Big Daddy Dubs. What's up, baby? All right, saying with the C. Mash is following the host as well. All right, so let's take a look. So when they say the equation, usually they're talking about the equation on the line, which is usually y equals mx plus b. But in this case, we have what's called the point slope. And the reason why it's called the point slope form is because all you need is one point and the slope. So the point slope form is y minus my y sub 1 equals my m times x minus x sub 1. So the two areas that we need to focus on is your m, which is your slope. Ooh, we're about to die here. Then we have our point, which is our x sub 1 and our y sub 1. So if you notice, all of our answer choices has that -2/2 for our slope. So now we have to figure out where are these points going to go. So my x sub 1 is going to go right in front here. It's going to replace that x1. And my y value is going to replace here. So if I plug that -6 in for that y sub 1, it's going to look something like this. So you got y minus your -6. Then we have our -2/7. And then we have x minus 5. Okay, that's what it looks like when you sub it in. But if you notice, we have a minus and negative. When you minus a negative, that bad boy turns positive. But here we still have a -5. Okay, so right away, knowing that the y's are going to go on over here, right away C and D is not an option because they got the 5 and the 6 in the wrong spot. So now you can put it between A and B. But after we did the minus the negative, that means that's going to turn this positive. So here's the trick. If you get your points, it's always opposite what you see in the equation. So we had a positive 5, now it's a minus 5. You had a negative 6, now it's a plus 6. So your answer is A. Okay. Hey, Big G Money, how are you? Okay. All right. Hello, Candy. Hey, Big L. What's going on? Thank you for everyone coming back on in and tapping away. I appreciate that. All right. So now this one, just in case I haven't said, which I didn't, this first equation, anything dealing with slope, if you're taking the GED or a high school equivalent, this is a 4-point question. Okay, those are those high stake questions that a lot of people usually skip, and that's what's causing you not to pass the test. So if you can get together with the slope, you'll be able to pass that test, all right? So now for 18, to divide 7 divided by x plus 2 by x minus 2 over 14, you can multiply 7 over x plus 2 by which of the following? Is it A, 7x plus 2 over 7? Is it B, 14 times x minus 2? C, 14 hundredths x minus 28 hundredths? Or D, 14 over x minus 2? Okay. Take the ACT. Okay. All right. Trying to pass basic math. Okay. All right. Gotcha. Basic college math, got you. Sorry. All right, Jacob saying D, created saying C. Big G Money's not too sure. Okay. Okay, Love is saying D. So you got D, fellas. Is this for ASVAB? Yes. Abigail, this is definitely for the ASVAB, GED, ACCUPLACER, T-test, all of the things. Red Indian, welcome back, babes. How are you? All right, Matthew saying C. Tanya squared, how are you? Okay, Young is saying D. All right, so we got a mixture here. Okay, we got a mixture of some stuff here. Slush, thank you so much. Oh, Red Indian, thank you so much. Yes, love. Yes, yes, yes. Do I do personal tutoring? Yes, I do. Okay, I'll talk about that in a moment. All right, so when you're dividing, let me say, if I had x divided by x plus 2 divided by 15 over x minus 2. Okay? This looks crazy, right? So we have a fraction being divided by a fraction. That just looks insane. So what people generally do, instead of having this like double ducker type thing, like BLT sandwiches levels, what we do is we take our numerator, which is my x over x plus 2, and we multiply by the reciprocal of what would be the denominator. Because if you do two divisions, just like I always say, two negatives make a positive. All right, so we got two divisions. That's actually creating a multiplication. So in order for us to get this true multiplication, we need to do the reciprocal or the flip of that denominator. So that means you're going to have your x minus 2 over 15. This is what they're trying to say up here. So if I'm dividing this by this, that means this was the numerator and this is the denominator. That means I can multiply by the reciprocal of the second fraction, which is simply going to be D. Okay, because all we had to do is flip. All right. Okay. I was just using it as an example. Everybody's like, oh, where'd the 15 come from? Where'd this come from? Pause. This has nothing to do with this. This was just an example. Okay, so there's two different worlds going on here. So all you're basically doing when you're trying to divide fractions like this, you're basically multiplying the reciprocal. You keep the numerator and you do the reciprocal of the denominator. Okay? All right? Gotcha. All right. Number 19. Now, based on how this was structured, if it was a GED, this would be close to like a 3-point question because they're not having you solve. But if they were to have you solve, it will definitely be a 4-point question. All right? Just want to kind of give you that guidance. And if you're taking the ASVAB, that will be, if you see something like that, you're doing pretty good. That means you're like in the 50s, mid 50s, early to mid 50s. Okay. Again, if they had you solve it, that will definitely be in the higher 50s. Okay. All right. So, all right, what is this expression? Because I don't want to give it away. And scientific notation. So is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so we have like Big Al with a B, Patricio with a D, definitely A, Brother Man. Who is a Brother Man? All right, Darian the A, Juju B, MJ. Hey MJ, A, Loca C, no problem. We got a whole bunch of A's. King of Snoopy C, Bam Bam C, okay, Tommy A. Okay, so we got a lot of A's and a few sprinkled in C's. Oh, and we switched it up with a D. Okay, Juju, never mind with an A. Okay, Aloha, Yoda, how are you? Okay. All right, so we got a whole lot of E's, sprinkled in C's, looking at some D's. All right, so let's take a look. So we have 2 zeros here, 375. Now, for us to put it in scientific notation, that means we're dealing with groups of 10. So if I need to make this into scientific notation, first off, the first digit has to be 1 digit, okay? And then you're multiplying it by groups of 10, and then you're writing down how many times you moved that decimal place over. Now, if I'm dealing with a decimal point, I have to move this decimal place over 1, 2, 3 times. The reason why it's 3 times because now the outside number is 1 digit. Then you write the whole 75. And that's similar to everything over here. So now, for the exponent, since we are still in decimal form, I know that this is going to be a negative. Because if I go from this position, if it said it was in scientific notation, and I need to change it back to my standard form, I would have to move it how many places to the left. So since I have to go to the left, we're dealing with negatives. That means I'm making this decimal smaller. So right away, D is gone, C is gone, because both of them have a positive exponent. Can't have that. So now we need to figure out how many times did we move that decimal place over. So if we started here, we moved over 1, 2, 3. So it could be between the 3 and the 7. So since we moved it over 3 places, we have an exponent of 3. Okay, so your answer is going to be A. All right. Actually makes sense. There you go. I try. Try not to give you guys any bull. Especially it's Sunday. All right. So if you like these, go ahead, continue clicking on the likes because obviously that's how you got here. You're probably following somebody that's following me or saw one of my lives. And if you can, go ahead with the likes. And I actually am only going to be on here for possibly another 40 minutes. So the reason why, because I have to do tutoring. So if you guys are interested in tutoring, there is a Service Plus button somewhere around there. If not, just send me a message and then we can take our discussion to the next level. Okay. Also, I know it's Sunday and people are preparing for, football. Let's be real. If anything, give me some time to do so, but this is where you can go for the replays. All right. So if you just go to here and you type in this, okay, then I would love for you guys to do this. So go ahead and do that. Nice screenshot of that. I'm going to take it down in like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So all the replays from February 2nd up to the last time I did a live, I don't even know anymore. That's all there. Okay. All right. So let's continue on. Enough of my service information. Okay, let me zoom in a little bit more because sometimes you guys can or cannot see, so which is fine. So if z raised to the t times z raised to the 5 equals z raised to the 15, what is the value of t? Is it A, 3, B, 10, C, 20, or D, 75? Okay, no problem. Oh, thank you for the stuff. Yes, so Crow saying 10, A, Naya B, Yoda A, Spare Me says A, User A, Sierra A, J A, Chasing A, 1, C, Mercia. We got Big G Money with B, A, B, B, A, B, mean A. All right, so we got a fight to the death between A and B. All right, so we all understand it's definitely not C and it's definitely not D. So we need to get with the rule. So what is the rule? When you are multiplying and you have the same base, you are adding your exponents. Okay? So when you're multiplying and you have the same base, my base are z's, you're basically adding your exponents. So we need to think, what plus 5 will equal 15? So that would be B10. All right, good. All right, so we're good. So it's not going to be 3 because 3 plus 5, that gives me 8. That does not give me 15. Okay. All right. Now let's get with the next one. So this is basically dealing with exponents. All right. All the properties of exponents. So which expression is equivalent to a to the third, b to the fourth, c to the 6th times 4ac to the third raised to the second power? Is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, let's see. Okay, Trell, thank you so much for the heart me. All right, so if you want to know when I come live, I'm going to try to put a schedule together for this week, but yeah, it's getting kind of crazy. So we got our A's, we got B's. Good afternoon to you. We got B's. Sexy T is not too sure. Okay. Dorina is saying B. Yes. Okay. Mel, we got our A. Thank you for the follow. Akeem. A for sure. Okay. So Chris, we're going to have A. User 35 is saying A. Tony C. Moni with a D. Tony C. Crow with a B. Okay, having people coming on in. Thank you so much. Hassan with E. Okay, so you're not too sure. That's all right. Michelle with an A. KCR with an A. I sue for a living. Oh, okay. You ain't gonna get much. Saying B. You're just doing it for practice. All right, Brent with the B's and Tony, I see your A's. Okay. Okay, real cowboy with the A. So let's take a look. First things first. I'm the realist. No, I'm just teasing. I'm looking at this second parenthesis right here. That's actually being raised to the second power. So what's happening here is that means everything inside of that parenthesis is being raised to the second power. Okay, everything is being raised to the second power. So that includes the 4. So 4 squared, that gives me my 16. A raised to the second power, that's a squared. And c cubed raised to the second power, when you have a power being raised by a power, you're multiplying those. Okay, so that will give me c to the 6th. So right now I'm dealing with 16s. So that means C is gone and D is gone. So now you're going to take this and you're going to multiply it to the other equation or the other parenthesis. All right. So now we know we're either going to have an answer of A or B. But let's take a look at what the difference. Their C's are the same, their B's are the same, but their A's are different. So that means to cut time, I'm going to just look at my A squared and my A to the 3rd. So remember what we did before. When we multiply, we add the exponents. So 2 plus 3, that gives me 5. So my answer is going to be A. So these are the little shortcuts. There's going to be some things that you have to do for work for those standardized tests, the GED or any high school equivalency tests, the ASVAB, the ACCUPLACER, the TEAS test, the C test, the ACT, the SAT. Okay, they're not looking at your answer sheets. But if you are currently in a class, your teacher wants to see your work. I just want to emphasize that. Because when they look at your work, they can give you partial credit. But any standardized test, they're not going to give you partial credit. It's either you know A, B, C, D, and some people E. If not, you either got it right or you got it wrong. But when you do it, if you're in a class, please make sure you show your work. Okay? Love a teacher. Show your work. Okay? Yeah, guessing doesn't work. I mean, it's a crapshoot. You get what you get. How did I get to 16, Jenny? Well, here we have 4, and it's being raised to the second power. So everything inside of this parenthesis is being raised to the second power. That's why I got my 4 squared. And 4 squared does not mean 4 times 2. No. This means I have a base of 4, and I'm multiplying that 4 to itself twice. So this 4 squared means 4 times 4, hence the 16. Okay. All right. So right now, you can do PEMDAS, but guess what? You're only got parentheses and exponents. That's it. All right. And Alexis, that's all right. The reason why math was your worst subject is because you didn't have anyone to take your time through it. Okay? We're no longer that hurt kid that used to like, oh, I want to understand the math, but I can't because everybody wants to go to recess. And I don't want to be that kid that's like, I don't get it. Can you do it again? Please, you will be burnt to the stake, especially the middle school stake. So no one wants to do that. Okay? Select survivor. Are you paying me, my dear? Because if you're not, keep your panties on. All right? We're going to get this done. It's okay. All right? Exactly, girl. Patience is the key. Okay? So we're just going to take our time. Okay? All right. So now for 22, evaluate the expression 3 raised to the 0 power times 3 raised to the negative second. Is your answer A, -9, B, 0, C, 1/9, or D, 1/81? Okay, so if you guys need any more, remember, I do tutoring, and I'm going to tell you, I normally charge $92, yes, $92, but for my TikTok people, I've been charging $77. All right. So if you do want me for tutoring, just message me. Yeah. Well, it is actually relatively easy. We just got to break it down. So I'm seeing some A's, I'm seeing zeros, seeing B's, seeing C's. I got Nadia, I got Austin. Hey, Austin with a C, Big Al with a C. Okay, you forced. You do engineering. I hate math. That is the epitome of your job. Okay. Ooh, Ava, excellent question. Yes, an hour. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir. Okay. Do I tutor Calc 2? No, I do not. Sorry, Crystal. That is not my GM. Okay, so we got A's, we got B's. All right, so let's see what we got. Now, again, people, patience. Were you not loved? I love you, okay? So, anything raised to the 0 power. So these are two separate properties of exponents. Anything raised to the 0 power is equal to 1. What? You thought it was equal to 0? No. Anything raised to the 0 power is the start of everything. We always have 1. Think about it. How'd you get here? There was one person, there was one egg, and then we have the inflation with the sperm, and then we got mimosas, then breaking, and boom, you came here, all right? But it all starts with one thing. So anything to the 0 power is equivalent to 1. Now, we have a negative exponent. So if we look at any kind of whole number, I'm going to put it over here. Any kind of whole number is always over 1. Now, when you have a negative exponent, in order for you to make it positive, it has to switch. If it's in the bottom, it's going to the top. If it's on top, it's going to the bottom. And by doing that switch or that reciprocal, now we got our 1 over 3 raised to the 2nd power. So when you have a negative exponent, you need to do the flip in order to change it to a positive exponent. So now we got 1 times 1 over 3 squared. Now, 3 squared. That gives me 9. And we all know 1 times anything is itself. So my answer is going to be C. Okay. All right. You knew it? Great. Okay. So I think what got a lot of people is 1, we didn't know that 0, anything to the 0 power is 1. So you can have like a whole sheet filled with fractions, decimals, square roots, radicals, all that stuff. If it's raised to the 0 power, the answer is going to be 1. Now, anytime you have a negative exponent, you have to do its reciprocal. So that means this needs to drop down in the denominator and the 1 zoop, goes up to the numerator. So now you got 3 raised to the 2nd power. That's not 6. Good thing because we don't have 6. But trust me, people, 1 6 will be one of your options. Got to remember 3 to the 2nd power gives us 9. All right. Okay, not a problem. All right. So let's see if we can get one more sheet in. And let's keep it moving. Again, okay, we're learning today. You're going to learn today. You're going to like it. All right. So now, just teasing. Actually, this one, you're going to need a calculator for. So I don't even know why that's on there. But this one, this is it. You're going to see something like this. Okay, so let's go with this one. So what is the square root of 45 in its simplest radical form? Is it A, 9 and the square root of 5? Is it B, 5 square root of 9? C, 5 square root of 3? Or D, 3 square root of 5? Okay, so Tony's, we got this D's, Norman, we have Nicole with the D's, we got some A's, X's with the D's, Big Butt. All right, Big Butt. All right, Big B. Saying D's. Misplaced is saying D's. Okay, I'm seeing a whole lot of D's, which is great. JJ with a B. Nyla is going to go with D as well. Day saying C. Jordan with a D. Screaming said something, but it's kind of going real quick. All right. PM is saying, yeah, I'm not saying that word. All right. Blah is saying A. Okay, we got interesting mix. Since I said it's great. Okay, it's D, haha, definitely D. All right, Norman, how's it A? Okay, we're going to take a look. All right, first thing, we have the square root of 45. Now, the square root of 45 is not one of our perfect square roots, meaning that if I squared the answer, it will give it to me as a square root. So I know I can break down 45, but I want to put it in that perfect prime combination. So there's two numbers. One of them is a perfect square root, and the other one is a prime square root. So the best combination will be simplify radicals. Yep, I gotcha. So that will be your 9 and your 5. Because 9 times 5, that gives me 45. Now, 9 is a perfect square root. So that means the square root of 9 is going to give me a number multiplied by itself, which is 3. Okay, 3 squared, 3 times 3, gives me 9. That's what makes it perfect. Okay? Now that it's a perfect square root, it's no longer needing to be underneath the square root. That's gone. But the square root of 5, I can only break down 5 by 1 and 5. Can't really get it perfect other than the 1 out of it. So I was just giving it back to my original. This is why it's prime. So if you multiply those two, you're going to get 3 square root of 5. Now, I know a lot of you guys were picking A because you remembered the 9 and the 5, but you forgot to put the square root around the 9. So the square root of 9 will give us our 3. Okay. All right, makes sense. All right, I love the O's. Awesome. There you go. Thank you so much for the rose. I appreciate it. Okay. All right, you're learning. Yep, we're going to learn today. Now this, for my GED people, because all you're doing, oh, thank you so much, Jordan. I appreciate that. Because of this, for my GED people, this is like a 3-point question. Okay, I tried to pick those questions for a reason. Okay, ASVAB, if you see something like this, you're basically like in the 40s. Okay, in order for you to get that 31, you really need to know your addition, subtraction, multiplication, division of fractions, know your distance and rates formula, know how to basically make change. If you can get that stuff, that's the core of it. Understanding fractions, decimals, percentage, distance, rate, and time questions. If you can get those down, you can get close to the 31. But when you do your equation of the line or slope, you're in. Okay, you're in. So you really have to get all those down. All right, multiplying the binomials. So is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so I got shadow saying C. Prime numbers are numbers that can only be products when multiplied by 1. So the first prime number is 2. Everyone keeps thinking the first prime number is 1. No, stop it. The first prime number is 2, because the only way you can get a 2 is multiplying 1 times 2. Then you have 3, which is 1 times 3. Then you have 5, 1 times 5. Then you have 7. You would think it's 9. Nope, because we just figured out 9 is 3 times 3 as well. Then we have 11. Then we have 13, 17, and like any number that you can only get when you multiply 1 and 7. And I can show you one of the resources that you can use to help practice that. So we have some C's, we have some C's, we have some C's. Ask Greg. Who's Greg? All right. A real cowboy with C's, Big Al C's. Charlie's Bucket. It's telling me that's Greg. Hiram. There we go. I was like, who's Greg? Is there a Greg in my life? I'm not sure. Okay. Now, for those that are like, I'm not quite sure because I'm not seeing a huge overflow this time. Now, first, I always look. The first terms are all the same. The last terms are all the same. This is how I do it to get to my answer, but then I will show you how to do it fully, okay? How I would get to my answer is I will multiply these two numbers together, and then I will multiply these two numbers together. So when I multiply the 4x and the 2x, the 2, that gives me 8x. And when I multiply negative 5 times 3x, that gives me a negative 15x. So what is 8 minus 15? So if you think of it this way, you owe me $15. You paid me 8. That means you still owe me money. So it's going to be a negative. So if my answer is going to be a negative, that means A and B are done because those are positive numbers. But then 8 minus 15, that gives us our 7. So we're looking at a negative 7. So 25, the answer is C. Okay, so if I'm doing a standardized test, remember these things are timed. So my shortcut would be, all right, let me look at the answers. All of them have the first term. All of them have the last term. But what's different is the middle term. So that means I'm going to multiply these two terms together, get an answer. Then I'm going to multiply the outside terms together to get an answer. Add those two up together, okay, which gives me a negative 7. The only one that has a negative 7 is my C. Now, if I were to multiply them fully, I have my 4x minus 5. These are two binomials. So I can do what's called the distributive property, aka FOIL. So I'm going to take my 4x, and I'm going to distribute that to everything in the second parenthesis. So I have 4x times 3x, that gives me 12x squared. Okay, remember when you're multiplying, you're adding the exponent. So if you don't see anything, it's assumed to be a 1. So this is what your teacher is trying to tell you when you're dealing with adding, subtracting polynomials, or adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing exponents. When they said x is 1, they don't mean x itself. They mean the coefficient or the exponent if you don't see anything. That's what they're trying to say. So now we got 4x times 2. That gives me a positive 8x. So now we're going to distribute this negative 5 to everything in that second parenthesis. So negative 5 times positive 3x, that gives me a negative 15x. Oh, that seems familiar. And then a negative 5 times a positive 2, that gives me a negative 10. So now, right here in the center, we got like terms. We can combine that. Oh, wait, that sounds familiar. Dun, dun, dun. Okay, that's where that negative 7x comes from. And then everything else just comes on down. The 12x squared and the negative 10. Okay, so if your answer choices are all giving you the same first term and the same last term, why not just focus on the middle term? Because that is going to tell you which is going to be your answer. Okay. You saw differently? Okay. May, it's okay. All right, you sticking? Yeah, I'm saying the same thing, sticking with the first one. But here we go. All right. Well, who's spending their Sunday doing math? What's up with y'all people? Well, there's over 446 of us. Obviously, we're pretty freaking awesome. What's up with you? Why aren't you jumping in the case? But yet, here's the thing. Because you made a comment, now I'm in your algorithm. I am in your algorithm. I am in your algorithm. What's up, bestie? How you doing, baby? All right. I'm glad I found you guys too. All right, so let's get it going. Here we go. Now, I want you to expand the expression 5x minus 6 raised to the second power. Right? I'm glad you're here, Fluffy. All right. Okay, we got a lot of shares. Thank you. Hey, Freedom Rider. There's my Freedom Rider. All right, so we got our B's, we got D's, we're loving learning. D is the final answer. I got some C's, LGSCU, Cardell, I'm seeing D's. Okay, Freedom Rider is sharing like a crazy person. I love it. Okay, you're going to watch and relearn. Not a problem. Not a problem. That's why it's going to be there. Just give me some time to get that up for you. Okay? All right. So this, if I may show you the shortcut, because I know a lot of people love it. This is basically telling me that I am taking my 5x minus 6 and I'm multiplying it to itself. Okay? This whole expression is the base, and we're multiplying it to itself 2 times. So here, you could do the distributive property that we just did earlier, but because I am going to have a middle section, that means option A and option B is out. Okay, you have to write. They even say the word expand. So that means this is the condensed version. We need to expand it. Okay, so you're not just going to, oh, let me just square this and square that and boom, that's my answer. No, that is incorrect. So we can do our little mini shortcut. So we are taking a look. Both of them are the same. Both of them the same. Ooh, these are different. So which one will it be? So I'm looking at the last terms. I don't even need the middle term because it's giving me that. I need to look at the signage of the last term. We have a negative 6 times a negative 6. What's a negative times a negative? Look at y'all. There it is, strawberry. I love it. Negative times a negative gives me a positive. The only one that gives me a positive 36 is D. Okay. Yep, you can do FOIL. That will work. Right? But see, here's the thing, Kyle, because you never know, Claire. You never know. There's a lot of people here. There's a lot of people that are adults that had to leave school to take care of their younger siblings. Those are the things, especially if they're around my age or maybe even a little older, or even slightly younger, I hate to say. So now people are trying to get back to it. Okay? Some people had to leave school at 4th grade in order to help feed to work so they can feed their siblings. Yeah, it was a different time back then. If you looked older, you were able to pass, even though you were rightful age of 13. Different time, different space. Okay. All right, so, yep, didn't learn this in high school. And that's another thing. Different schools did different things. Some people didn't even take it this far. So now here we go with 27, which shows the correct form of the quadratic formula. Okay, is it A, B, C, or D? Okay, so I got a bunch of C's, sand C, sunshine C, star C, Al saying C. Okay, on your SAT math, excellent. OB, good job. Gotta get out of here. Give me your nightmares. Nah, humid. Now that you put a comment in, now I'm in your algorithm. You're gonna see me all the time, baby. Welcome in. Welcome to the family. All right, so a bunch of C's. What is the quadratic formula? I'm about to show you in a moment. Okay, so we got our C's, Yoda with a C, it's the same C. Okay, now let's take a look. Sean with an A. Okay, so we got a mixture of A's, some C's, and I think that's it. So now, number 27. So we use the quadratic formula when we're trying to find, if I may, when we're trying to find our roots, our zeros, our x-intercepts, okay? And sometimes you can use either straight factoring, you can use grouping, you can use anything. But when they're trying to find the exact, like when it's equal to 0, some people have been using quadratic formula. Now, first, it always starts with a negative b. So that means A and D are out because they start with a positive b. Nope. So now, what's the difference between these two? This one has a plus sign, this one has a minus sign. And the one that's correct is the one with the minus sign. So it's negative b plus or minus the square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a. Now, if you want the breakdown of how to use the quadratic formula, again, you're going to need to go here because I actually did a breakdown of that, okay? Go here, type up this, and you're going to actually see not only lives like this, but also individual lives. When I do quadratic formula, when I do factoring, I do exponents, I do rational functions, radical simplifying, adding, subtracting polynomials, all of that good, juicy stuff that you see in Algebra 1 and college algebra. All right. What does the G stand for? Well, originally it was supposed to be my married name, but now I'm divorced. And I'm really happy about that. I say it's for geometry. No Calc 3 OB. So sorry. Okay. Yep. So I just say AC or ACG will be algebra, college algebra, and geometry. It works. It works. All right. So now 15% of what number is 9? Is it A, 60, B, 45, C, 13.5, or D, 1.35? Right? It does work. Yeah, I had a friend, Nancy. She did that with her. Her initials is TAG. So she said trigonometry, algebra, and geometry. I was like, all right, that's kind of cool. So it works. Okay, no, not D. Okay, so we got A's, we have D's, Jess with a D, we have Jean with a D. Okay, and one person saying it's not D. Okay, so what is it? All right, Jacob saying A. Jenny, her favorite. Do you get a calculator on the ASVAB? No, you do not. That's why I do a lot of stuff by hand on here, because you got to practice how you're going to play, baby. All right. Okay. So you're saying hint, the answer has to be greater than 9. Okay. So we got that. There we go. All right. All right. So look, 15%. So 15%, you can use it as a decimal if you want to. Of, meaning multiplication, what number, since we don't know that number, I'm going to put it as an N, is 9. All right, so if I want to, I can practice on my point 15. And a lot of people are like, Audrey, just use a calculator. But here's the thing. When you take your GED, your ASVAB, your ACCUPLACER, you can't use a calculator. Not at all. Okay, so this is why I do a lot of stuff by hand. So if I am going to do my division, I have 9 divided by 0.15, but I cannot have a decimal in the divisor. So I need to move this decimal place over 2 places so it can be 15, but that means I have to add 2 decimal places over there as well. So now I got to think, what number times 15, or how many groups of 15 can go into 90? Well, if we do 6, because 6 times 5 gives me 30, carry the 3, 6 times 1 gives me 6, plus 3 gives me 9, so that gives me 90. When I do my subtraction, bring down my 0. So I need this 0 here, because there's 0 15s that can go into 0. And then my decimal point will be out here. So that means I get an answer of 60. Okay. And even if you multiply the 15 times 9, it'll get you that too. Okay. All right. No, that's nice. Okay, so it's going to be 60. It's not going to be 6. Okay. All right, let's see. Last one. Then I'm going to have to skedaddles on you. All right, so which equation has roots of -3 and 5? So is it A, is it B, is it C, or is it D? Okay, which roots? Okay, so Jacob's saying B. Candy's thinking it's A. E's thinking it's B. Jenna is thinking it's B. Jacob's saying no, it's A. No, it's B. Pardon me, it's B. Multiply that. That's why you're not multiplying. You're taking 15% of 9, not 15% 9. But 15 times 9, that will give you your 60. Yeah. So you got to take your percentage of it. So that's why I just do the division. It's easier for me that way than thinking the multiplication. So we got the B's, B's, A's, B's. Okay. All right. Thank you so much for the crane. Data Dread, I appreciate you. Mo saying A. Kim B. Miss is saying A. You're so rusty. That's okay. Because when was the last time you saw this? You haven't seen it since you were a fetus. So let's go. All right, so which equation has these roots? So basically, I'm saying, if you can set each of these parentheses equal to 0. So like if I plug in the first one, if I said x minus 3 and I had set it equal to 0, in order for me to find out what x is, I would have to add 3. So x will equal to 3. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for -3. So here's the quickest way to find it. If you have a -3, that means inside the parentheses should be opposite what you see. So it's not going to be -3 because I even proved it. X equals 3. No, that's not it. So that means anything that's giving me x minus is not going to work. So we have x plus 3's. That will work, and I can prove it to you. So if I have x plus 3 equals 0, that means I'll have to subtract 3 on both sides. So x will equal -3. And that's what we're looking for. So thinking the opposite, we have a positive 5. That means we need -5. And the only one that's giving me -5 is going to be B. Because if I said x minus 5 is equal to 0, that means I got to do the opposite. I got to add 5. So x is equal to 5. So the answer is going to be B. Okay. Yep, so this is going into the quadratics. So if you haven't learned the quadratics, it's not going to make so much sense. All right, and Omar, let's get yourself addressed. If you don't like this, you can simply skip on. It's perfectly fine, but I will not be tolerating that. If you just want to be known, don't be known to be a butthead, okay? All right. I'm trying to keep it holy. It's Sunday. Now, if it was Monday, I would curse your little ass out. But, but since it's Sunday, we're going to have to. All right, everyone. So here we go. That's perfectly fine. I think everyone, I love the fact that you guys are here, that you did a little bit of learning, and that's all fine. I know I got to go, but I have to go to tutoring. So again, I don't know, but if you do need tutoring, I'm going to have to make room. But again, give me some time because I will upload this and everything will be here. So if anything, you can take a look. If you need anything for the GED, for ASVAB, and I know a lot of people, their college algebra classes are coming to a close. You only got a couple of weeks left, especially if you're in this, semester, before the winter semester begins and all that. So just let me know. Not a problem. Okay, I have to go because I have 2 minutes to get myself ready for my next class. Okay, so I'm not sure when the next time I'm going to be here. I'm trying to fit it in because now I got a lot of people coming in for my 3:30s, but never know. You never know. All right, so definitely keep me posted. If you do need anything, just go ahead and send me a message. Again, my tutoring sessions are $77. So let me know what you guys want to do. I do have group rate specials, but let me know. Okay? All right. So if you need me, go ahead and message me. Okay, guys. Have a lovely Sunday and please take care of yourselves. Bye now.